Hey, what's up, everybody? So, I've got a new series of videos I'm going to be doing. A friend of mine at work wanted me to make him some props. Like, he wasn't interested in wearing anything or whatever, but he saw some of the helmets that I've made and some of the other things that I've made, like the giant 40K sword and things like this. And he wondered, hey, can you make me some of those things, but like smaller, so that I can like set them on my desk and home and around the house and stuff like that. And I was like, that's an interesting idea. So I'm going to do a new miniature series. It's going to be taking like regular helmet files or props and stuff like that, like these, axes and maces and stuff like that, and shrinking them down. So I finished my first one last night. This is right here. This is the Deluxe Mjolnir from Hex 3D. So this is done at 50% scale. I printed this all on the Bamboo Lab P1S, and then what I did, took it out, cleaned it up, and used the heat gun on the pieces to get a sheen on the standard printed pieces of each of this. Kind of brought almost like a gloss, just hitting it with a little bit of heat, and it, especially on the raised areas, it brought a little bit of a sheen or a shine to the engraving and stuff. And then I went over the hammer parts and the metal parts with some silver leaf rub and buff, using just a foam brush, and I would just dab a little bit, and then you just barely drag the brush over the model so that it just hits the tops, so you can see that it only hits the very top of all this intricate engraving and scroll work, and it doesn't cover all the way down, so you get some contrast there between the gray filament that this was printed in and then the silvery top coat of the rub and buff. I then printed these jewels in just some green silk PLA that I had. Got one in the handle down here, and then came in on the handle, and just with a brush and some airbrush paint, this barn red airbrush paint, I then went in and painted the segments of the handle that would be leather. And then I came back with a rag after that was all done, and some people forget that it's called rub and buff. So you put it on, and then you come back and you buff it up, and it helps bring a shine to it. So this is my first fully complete version of this new series of miniature props that I'm going to be doing. And you have the Hex 3D Deluxe Mjolnir, and this is going to be one of many that is going to be going to a buddy of mine up at work, and this is all commissioned. He said, make it, tell me how much I owe you, and all that. So I put in the work to make this look as good as possible. I think it came out fantastic. The handle, the metal pieces all look fantastic. The print came out beautiful. This was just printed at a 0.2 layer height, but the detail is exquisite in this model. I think the jewels look great to do, just to add a little bit of flair to it. And then I think that barn red on the leather parts of the handle came out perfect. And anyway, just came out absolutely beautiful. So there you go. My first submission into the miniature props and the Hex 3D Deluxe Mjolnir 50% scale. So there you go.